We're back. We were just live like 30 minutes ago. This is like I just have the whole Tuesday blocked off for Zoom. Sometimes you got to do that. What's going on, Bob? Good to see you.
What's up? Happy belated.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, dude. It was a good birthday. I had a good one. I didn't do a lot. Not much. I think I rented a movie. I don't remember. It wasn't anything much different than
just chill. Yeah,
that was all right. Like I've had 44 birthdays now, so they're all kind of like just any other day of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older you get, the less it means, I think, So I love Christmas time. That's my favorite. Of course, my birthday is December 5th, so it's real close to Christmas, but I love Christmas. I practice the 12 days of Christmas.
What's that? The 12 days.
I was hoping you'd ask. The 12 days of Christmas. That's when you buy enough gifts that you can give a gift to, every day to people in your life, So it's like they get a little something, like maybe the wife will get a sports bra today and then maybe something else like that tomorrow, like, just something small. It's the 12 days of Christmas.
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves. Come on, stop saying it.
Right. And the partridge in a pear tree. So good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. I know it's been a busy day so far, but I'm glad that you're here. And we always start off Tuesdays with Bob Vieira from universalshortsales.com. Bob is our go-to guy for the short sale business. Doing short sales, that's a whole other thing. That's there's a lot of different strategies in real estate, and short sales is one of them. And it's one that I'm not experienced with, nor do I really want to be. And, that's that's okay. However, that doesn't change the fact that I do from time to time have leads in my business where the person that I called is a homeowner that is underwater, and which means they're over leveraged. They owe more than the property's worth, and they are in default. Okay. And that makes them potential for a short sale. And so we have a relationship with Bob. Bob, what's going on in your world, man?
Not much. Same as the past couple weeks. Just, following these lockdowns, states and counties. You're seeing a lot in like California. That's something that people in my business, people in your guys' business, any, businesses in the distressed real estate space, you have to follow that kind of stuff. And, I think Q1, Q2 next year, we're going to see some of the negative impacts from it. It's going to be bad news. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's going to be bad news for a lot of these small business owners and people employed by them. So it's definitely an indicator we're tracking.
It's a crazy world out there.
Wild.
I said that to somebody yesterday, and they were like, crazy world? What do you mean? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, haven't you turned on the TV or like listened to the radio or anything? Oh, okay. Well, but not for the business. I was like, well, I mean, it's a crazy world. I mean, it's a good business, but still it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Yeah, they acted like they were confused by that. I was really amazed.
If you asked me a year ago, that there would still be lockdowns and that COVID would still be this big, I mean, I would have called you crazy. I thought this thing was going to last like a couple weeks when it started. Yeah. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
So, but on the other hand, it's going to create, it is what it is. It's going to create opportunities for real estate investors like you guys, people in your business. It's definitely going to create opportunities. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody had a question about a house or a lead. Who was that yesterday? And it was in default, and they were $7,000 in back payments they owed. Who was it? I can't remember. Does anybody remember?
I didn't get tagged, did I? Because I
didn't see
it
was just somebody spoke up in our Q&A yesterday here at Zoom.
Gotcha.
And I said, that's a great question for Bob. So I said he'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
and then I totally forgot who that person was. I'm sorry, guys. For whoever that was, I'm sorry. There's a bunch of folks in here, and I try to do good at remembering stuff, but
I think it was LaShonda or Sandra. One of the
I
two.
thought it was too. Or maybe Mary. I thought it was one of the ladies, but evidently it wasn't LaShonda, or she would have spoken up here, or Luce. Okay. So any other questions though for Bob this week? Does anybody else have questions? Anything about short sales or any leads or any deals that you're working on? Anything cooking in the short sale business? Meaning they're underwater and in default.
Behind on pay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Behind on payments and underwater. You guys, usually there's not an opportunity to assign these contracts. Like I say all the time, I don't want your big, meaty, profitable deals. You guys keep that. That's your primary income. I'm just here as another tool in your tool belt. For him, secondary source of income. That's it.
Yeah.
Take those leads that you're spending all those marketing dollars on, instead of passing them up, fill out the form on my website, and I cut you a check. It's really that simple. You do a couple of those a year, that's literally a secondary income source. I mean,
yeah.
When you look at it from that perspective, it could be a game changer for you.
I mean, literally getting started in the business, a couple deals like that a year pays a big chunk of your marketing for the year.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So it's a great tool to have. It's a free tool to have in your tool bag. So I recommend that you do that. There's a great ebook that comes with when you sign up with Bob. Doesn't cost anything. Go to universalshortsales.com, register with him as a wholesaler or investor that's going to be sending leads when you find them that fit the criteria we were just talking about. So go over there, sign up. You'll get an ebook that talks about how you talk with these homeowners, which, I'm all about how you talk to homeowners and why that's important. But this is a whole other kind of homeowner because they're in default and they're underwater. Right.
Yep. It's a different kind of tonality you want to use. It's, you just want to approach it differently. You want to approach the lead differently for sure.
So definitely go over there, guys. If you haven't done it yet, go over there, put that tool in your tool bag, because when you run across the deal, it'll be easy for you to send over there. Bob pays out every deal that he gets from someone like us. He works the deal 100%. And then at the end, he sends you a PayPal or Venmo or what have you, $500. $500. Yeah.
There's a there's a wholesaling company out of upstate New York. And I mean, at the end of the year, we're probably going to close up to 10 deals with them, of just dead leads that they're sending us. So, especially if you're in a market where there's going to be mortgage defaults from COVID, there could be opportunities for you guys to capitalize yourself in your own wholesaling business. And then B, while you're marketing to those leads, you could create a secondary income source, just like this company from New York is doing. So just keep it in mind.
Yeah. I learned a long time ago, actually, when I was an insurance salesman. I've had 1,000 jobs and insurance salesman was one of them.
Yeah.
And I learned back then that you go to I worked with the older demographic, 65 years and older. So I was a Medicare insurance guy. So you go in, you find out that this policy fits this person, but you go to the next house, no policy that you have really fits them, and that sucks because I worked hard to get that lead. I worked hard to get that appointment, and then I don't really have anything that fits, So, dude, I got out of the insurance business. I'm in the real estate business. I think the same way, man. I want something if I can put a tool in my tool bag for every kind of lead, whether that's a ugly house, a pretty house, another wholesaler or realtor with a deal or a buyer, whether that's a short sale, somebody on underwater in default, even I can do something, turn the screw a little bit, make some money. Okay. Right. It's being wicked smart, right? I think it is. My income actually, it more than doubled when I started doing that in the real estate business. So you should too, I think. Bob, any questions for Bob? All right. Love you, Bob. Have a great week, dude. And
Have a great week, everybody. Thanks, Justin.
We'll see you next week. Tag Bob in the VIP. If you got questions through the week, if you run into a deal, tag Bob. Get in touch with Bob. He's easy to find. He's always in the VIP or in the VIP chat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See you next week, Bob.
Later, Justin. Later, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye-bye. All right. Nick Gonzalez.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Dude, that was amazing with y'all and Brandon this morning. That was awesome. I'm still like,
it was next level. Next
level
level stuff.
It was great.
If you did not catch that, it's on YouTube. I posted it in the Facebook group. It is called Live Co-Wholesale Deal Workshop. Okay. All of the goodies are in the YouTube description. Okay. Go check that out, guys. It'll cost you an hour and 45 minutes of your life, but I'm telling you what, you will want to watch it again before it's over, because it's like that good. All right. At least if you're like me, and I think most of you are. So yeah, thanks for saying that, Nick.
Hey, Justin, when you gonna take that shit down?
What stuff?
Brandon stuff.
Never
take that shit down.
Never, ever, ever. Oh, you want me to take it down? That's what's up. I see what you mean. Yeah, dude, it was that good. That good. All right. So here's the question I have for everybody. What are you going to do with it today?
Watch it again.
Okay, watch it again. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. I was like, I need to just sit down one more time, and this time take a few more notes and make some adjustments in my business. Because
Justin, where did you say it was at?
It's on YouTube. Justin Chamness Real Estate Wholesalers Club. Search any of those words on YouTube, and I should pop up. You can like and subscribe the channel there. I'd really appreciate it too. And then it's right there, the last video we did besides this one, which is Live Co-Wholesale Deal Workshop with Brandon Simmons. You were there.
Got it.
So it was good. But you want to watch the replay.
It was good. Yeah, I want to watch the replay. That's why I'm trying to make sure I find it.
Gotcha. Nick, hey, thanks for everybody that participated too. 7:30 a.m. on the West Coast, and we still had like 36, 37 people watching it and in the Zoom room. Most of them in the Zoom room. That's wild. So, Nick.
Yo.
Share your screens with us, man.
You got it, man.
Show us what you got.
All right. So, I wish it was as fire as Brandon's, but it's going to be really small compared to that. But I still think it's kind of cool, especially since we're doing how to set up your weeks and, getting all these documents that we're getting from Brandon and from Justin, and how Justin says, don't feel scared to edit them. I wanted to show how to make like your documents in your Google Drive account. So this is like my bookmark folder that I use for everything. And then when I start working, like all those things are clicked on, and I have like 6 bookmarks like ready to go. And I have one for my my Google Drive where the folders are. And I just wanted to show, for example, so if I send out a lease purchase offer, I'm sending them something like this. It's got my logo on it, my name, contact information. I send them the agreement. If it goes really well and they seem like they, I've got them, but we're going to do a follow-up either way. I'm going to send it to them. And then this is actually something that I got within the Lease Purchase 2.0 course from Justin. It's like the information on the lease purchase stuff that they can read. And if they have any questions about it, right. And then at the bottom, I just put, logo, contact information. But like, it didn't look like that when I got it. I had made a little adjustments. I changed it to fit my narrative, and things that are important as you go. If you have to send a copy of termination contract, unfortunately, if you have to, I recommend that you save those in your files as well. So that's why it's easy access. For example, here's one, saved it, and they're highlighted in blue. So I know exactly what to change, and I just send it. Like, I don't have to completely read everything. I just, other than like the dear, name of the person, you just switch it, the date or whatever you highlighted in blue, and it's just easy to go and easy to edit. And then you just, send it. I've kind of started keeping those things as I go to have them in my access of my folder. Another one for like if they tell you no, and you think that you have a really good shot at it, but they're still kind of like, no, I don't really want to do it. I'll send them this. And if they call me back, they call me back. I'm not going to be worried about it. But I have something in here like this. And I put the agreement or whatever it is. Again, all my information that I want to change is in blue, so I don't have to really think about it. And then I send that to them. And then I've actually had one person contact me and ask me, like, would that offer still stand? Is there a way that we can renegotiate that price? And then the numbers didn't work out, so it didn't work out. But they ended up contacting me anyway, just because I sent that email to them. So yeah, like stuff like that is just really cool. And then to have it in that stuff like in blue, so you just kind of get in there and get out. You don't have to think about it. And while you're talking to them, you can draw it up and then read the lease purchase agreement, as you go. I just found it to me to be helpful, and I wanted to share that with everybody.
Yes.
And then making the folders that go into it. So again, about like editing your stuff. Here's the addendum for the setting the appointment, or like the canceling of the appointment. And what I did with the one that has the setting the appointment, I adjusted it. And y'all are, feel free to take it if you want to. But I added this part down here where it was just like a sentence or two, like owner or seller also acknowledges that the above named tenant buyer prospects is a client of, my company, and agrees not to attempt to circumvent, or conduct any real estate related transactions with the above. And I felt like I added that to make me feel more comfortable, more solid with it. But that's something I added. So it's like, if it makes you feel better and it makes you feel more comfortable, like feel free to edit the documents as long as it gives you the peace of mind moving forward. And then save those in your Google Drive, so they're just quick, easy access stuff while you're on the phone with them, and you can send it to them directly. So that when they say, yeah, go ahead and email it to me, it's like, oh, I just did. You open it up and take a look at it. Like, how did you send it that quickly? It's like it was already ready to go. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with it's a small little thing, but it's in the long run, it's helpful, especially if you're doing all this by yourself. And, it saves the time from going on your desktop to having a folder and trying to sort through your folder. You've got all the stuff that you use every day, in your Google Drive that you can just share, edit immediately.
And you got these from Justin's course, and you just modified them yourself?
Right. And others I've got from different stuff from like Joe McCall, and I've like combined Justin's stuff, Joe McCall's stuff, and I just kind of fused what worked for me and with what I'm trying to do. So it's like, even if I'm gutsing them and I'm telling them something along the lines of like, about the contracts or whatever, all these things are all edited, so I know exactly that it's going to follow everything. I don't have to add or delete. So if, for another example, for and I know I talked about it last time, my revised lease option deal, I'm going to leave everything the way that it is, except, and I changed it about where they could cancel at any time for whatever reason or no reason at all. I definitely got rid of that because that was stupid. But yeah, so like when you have it in there, you can, like if they say, well, I don't want it to be, they want more like of a flex deal. It's already set up for a flex deal. If they want something changed, all you got to do is delete it. But this is pretty much a solid thing all the way through, where I don't really have to adjust or change anything. It's like, if I go through like well, what about if I gave you the opportunity to pick and choose the tenant buyers as they come in, and you approve and you're in the driver's seat 100%? Would that make you feel more comfortable or maybe not? And if they say, well, yeah, it's already in there. Like, I already know it's in there. I don't have to add it.
Nice.
And I don't have to have two different ones. So it's like, I just fill out and change the highlighted blue parts and send it off. And I found that helps me out a lot. And so even what we all learned from Brandon this morning, we can do the same thing. I'm having the different separate folders. Like, here, this is my lease option one. Things that we learned from ACE, for owner financing subject to stuff. This is my folder for that. And this is my folder for, JV wholesaling. And you've got all these documents already pre-edited, and you just change the highlighted parts, send it off, and, try to get as much of a bing, bang, boom as you can to save your time.
Nice.
That's great. That's great. Any questions for Nick? You know what strikes me is that every successful real estate investor or successful otherwise that I've ever known, they were organized in their endeavor. Organized. Okay. One time I had a job, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, but you know the rafters that go in the ceiling, you know, these wood, they're usually like, you know, what is it, 2x12s or something. Anyway, my job was to put these braces on them. You guys know what I'm talking about? Those metal braces. You got to have them. It's all code and everything. And so you have to nail them in, but there's not a lot of room in between these rafters to swing a hammer. I was up there just like just humiliating myself in front of everyone on the crew. Guy come up to me and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, putting these braces on. He said, "Yeah, I'm looking at that." He said, this ain't gonna work." I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can." He said something to me that I've never forgotten. He said, "It's not that you can't, it's that you don't have a spirit of excellence." And he turned around and walked off. Mic drop moment. And ever since then, I've asked myself many times, until it kind of has become second nature for me, that when I do things, I want them to be organized and I want to do them with a spirit of excellence. If you're not bringing that, which is what Nicholas just demonstrated, really honestly, if you're not bringing that to the table, I'm sorry, but your business is probably not really ever going to really take off. That's just the nature of it, guys. You got to have a plan. You got to have it. You got to be organized. Aaron, what was you going to say, buddy?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I got in on what Nick was saying at the last part of what he was saying. I just wanted to know what tool is he using to do this with? Because I got in on the last part of it.
It just Google Drive and Google Docs. That way it's just easy to edit on the fly. You just click the document. And I already have them, like, so like you can extract them as a PDF. So whatever you change, here, let me share the screen real quick again. So for example, if I want to change this document here, I would make, you know, any changes to seller name. So let's just say I'm going to, put me, right, and then you would download that as a PDF. Now, when you do that, it's not going to it's going to save whatever you have on there, but it's like every time you're going to change it, you're going to change the name anyway. So I don't really worry about what it's saved as long as the document's saved and I can edit it, because whatever you're going to send them, you already have in your documentation to put with that file in your CRM with that particular lead. But all I use is Google Drive and Google Docs for this stuff.
Okay.
Hey,
All right,
Nick,
thanks a lot. Very helpful.
I have a question on there, Nick.
What's up?
When you have a document that's a PDF, and you want to convert it to a Google Docs, what I found is a lot of times Google Docs will mess the document up, and then it's like you got to go back in there and reword the stuff and fix it and move the lines back. How do you avoid that?
Right. Sometimes I had to do that, and you have to like pretty it up as best as possible, and then you make your own PDF of that. Some of them were like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the way that I would recommend doing it. Because yeah, I know what you're talking about. You upload it, and then it's just like, whoa, like it's a bunch of squiggly lines. Like you got
right. It messed the whole document up. Not
right.
all of them, but most of them.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, you would have to go in and just kind of pretty it up, and then save that as your PDF. So that way it's already saved within the Google Drive or Google Docs format. So when you open it up, you can already just go ahead and edit the way that it is and send it off, and when you download it or export it as a PDF, it's going to look exactly the way you set it up.
Okay, cool. Were you going to show us how to do the failed listings on Redfin?
Yeah, I did, but I can do it again real quick.
Do it again real quick, man.
Yeah, because I must have missed it.
It's all right. So we go to Redfin. You know, Redfin, you got to sign in, make an account. I don't know if y'all know that, but wait, what? It's not Redfin. Hold on. Redfin. There we go. All right. So let's just say, what's your market, LaShonda?
I'm in Kansas City.
Okay.
Kansas City, Kansas.
All right. So so we're gonna go to, let's just say you want to keep them, you know, bread and butter, lease option stuff.
It's about what, 350, I would say.
I go about, yeah. Well, I go 125, 450. That's what usually I do. And then when you go to the filters, you know, 2-bedroom, you know, and I don't put a max because, you know, anything less than 2 bedrooms, you know, you don't want, but if it's got more, it's better. I put 1.5 bath. Always want a house. You could put house, condo, townhouse, whatever you want, but I'm going to stick to houses. And then the important part is going into time on Redfin, and you can select the 90 to 180 days, right? So let's just say we want 90 days. And for the year built, I put like something like 2017 or, you know, nothing newer than that. So you don't get a lot of new home construction, you know, stuff and you're clogging it up.
Okay.
And then I can't, let me see if I can move this out of the way.
So we under the for sale tab though, right?
Right, yeah, for sale tab. And at the bottom of it, it should have a page. Well, here it's not, I don't know. Sometimes I've noticed, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like how Zillow hides numbers, but sometimes it doesn't show it. But you would have a page listing here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Go to table. I think it's under table. Go up to the right there.
No,
that's not it.
Yeah, because it'll let you download. So let me just go real quick. I know for whatever reason it worked in Dallas, so that's when I was looking for it. All right. Yeah, there you go. So it'll have, and let me see. I'm trying to get this thing out of the way. This camera button.
So there just wasn't that many properties on the Kansas City one. There wasn't enough to populate several pages.
Yeah, probably because here is it's showing 21 out of 103 in Dallas that fit this criteria. So it may need that it needs multiple pages. But once you download this, LaShonda, it'll go into your downloads folder and it downloads the CSV file. Already with all that information on there, and then you can skip trace that, and then do your text blast, direct mail. I mean, however you want to mark it. But that's a really cool way of doing it. To get them, for free, that you don't have to buy the list or anything. Okay,
I was doing that, but where I was, I guess, confused that I was actually looking for a filter that was expired. That's what I was, that's what I was looking for. That's why I reached out to you, because I'm like, I don't even see no expired.
Yeah, well, these are like right before they're gonna hit the expired. Like it's like they've been on there for a while. They're kind of like wore out. Nothing's happened, so we have a really good chance of making proving our case, really. Right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I don't know if anybody else is enjoying this. Actually, that's not true. I know they are. And I've heard comments and people say thanks to me. Because, this stuff's important, man. Just like being organized, having nice looking stuff, knowing how to do the contracts and all that. A lot of that, we just assume that you'll figure out on your own, and it's nice that we have a club here where somebody can, share a little bit and share and care. So thank you, Nicholas, for doing that.
Thanks, Nick.
And
no problem, guys. Nice.
Hey, Justin.
I want to keep doing these little segments, man, every week because they're really kick ass.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah. What's up, Harold?
Justin, I just want to personally say thank you. Most people that are doing what you are doing would have said after this morning that we weren't meeting today, this evening. You wouldn't have, but you care. You care. You really.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, we working on some shit, man.
Exactly.
Like all of us are. I get that. And so we got to keep it. We got to keep the train moving.
I got to go back to work, guys.
Okay, we'll see you, Nick. Thanks, man.
But thanks.
Hey,
Thanks,
Vernon,
Nick.
is Vernon on the call? Vernon, can you tell your VA 1 p.m. Central Time instead of 12:45? Can you buy me an extra 15 minutes? If you can, Vernon, I appreciate it. Let's jump right into Text Blast Tuesday. Yesterday, we talked about what I refer to as machine number 1 in the deal factory. Okay. And that is the data. So yesterday we spent probably about a half hour talking about data and actually getting into the automated REI. And we're going to do that again right now. Actually, let me go to the automatedrei.com and let's take a look at our scrapes. Let's see what the data machine produced. I'm going to sign in. And then let's go over here to the Zillow scraping history. I'm going to hit this big history button. Looks like the History Channel. Scraping history. All right. And you can see all the scrapes that I did yesterday that were processing are now completed. You can see the first one that I did was Kansas City number 1 down here yesterday. And then Missouri, the entire state. And then, of course, Kansas City number 2, Columbia, Springfield, Claycomo, Boone Como, I guess. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of numbers there. And today, all we need to do is, you see these green buttons over here to the right, start SMS. Well, we need to start an SMS. But in order to do that, I've got a scrape here. What's my largest scrape? Does anybody remember the largest one out of this group of 1 through 7?
600.
600. Yeah. 600. Number 6, Missouri. It was 600. So remember the rule, 50, right? 50. Anybody want to tell me? What was it? Nobody remembers? I'm going to share the whiteboard with you here and I'll write it down again.
It was 50 for every number, for every phone number.
50 per phone number per message per day.
Right. 50 per phone number per outbound message per day. Okay. So if I have 600 as my largest scrape, then that means I need to have how many text messages in my outbound text message template?
Like 12.
12. Yeah. At least 12, minimum 12. How many phone numbers am I going to have?
12.
To send from?
12, right?
12. Right. Right. So, all right. So that means that we have the work to do of making sure we have at least 12 phone numbers and 12 texts in the template rotation thing. And we're going to take a look at that right now and do that. Okay. So over here on the left, I'm going to scroll down to the SMS campaign. There it is right there. I'm going to click SMS campaign. I'm going to scroll down and you see where it says phone numbers all selected. It says 10 now because after yesterday, I went and bought a couple, 2 or 3 more just to make it quicker today. I'm going to go ahead and click the buy number. I'm going to put an area code in here that makes sense for what I'm doing. And I'm going to hit search. It pulls up a variety of phone numbers. Doesn't matter which one I pick really. So I'm just going to buy one. Now I have 11 phone numbers. Let me refresh the screen here. Okay. You see, it says 11 phone numbers. All right. I don't have 12 yet. So I'm going to buy another one. I want to make sure I have 12. This is very important. Otherwise, my text messaging is not going to be as effective because I'm probably going to get caught in the spam filter. Okay. So there's 12 phone numbers. Okay. Now we've taken care of the phone number problem. So let's slide over here to the left and go down the menu again and go to the template message module. And you can see I've got 5 written already. But let me ask you, somebody tell me real quick, who is our audience again? What did we scrape yesterday?
Zillow.
Zillow for sale by owners. Okay, so these are Zillow for sale by owners. I am in the creative real estate business. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, what am I equipped to do? Am I equipped to do ugly houses, and am I equipped to do lease options on pretty houses? Okay, am I equipped to negotiate pretty good, or do I need to? So what kind of message do I want to send to this audience? Am I okay with what Justin sends? Hi, I'm Justin. I saw your house online. Are you flexible on price or terms? I have some down payment. See, look at that. That's the first message I have in here. Are you comfortable with that? Okay, maybe not. Okay, so you have to think of your audience. You have to think of what you're capable of, and then craft a message. And it doesn't have to be professional. Please don't make it professional. It will really diminish your returns. Make it as real, as human, as personable as possible. Okay, message 2. Is this something you could consider renting and then selling after a couple years? That's kind of the old standby. Message 3. I have some down payment. Would you consider a rent to own? See, nothing professional about this stuff. Is it all cash, or could you consider something creative? Number 5. I have a down payment. Can we do something creative? All right. How many messages is that? That's 5. How many did I need?
12.
12. Okay, so I'm going to add 7 more messages. All right, so here's what I want to do real quick. Let's stop sharing and let's get our creative brains on. I'm going to say what my elementary school teacher used to say. Let's put our thinking caps on. Does anybody ever have a teacher that ever said that, or was it just me? Well,
No.
Now, Justin, let's put our thinking caps on. Okay, so let's put our thinking caps on. Let's play a game. I want everybody here to participate. You're going to have to speak up. You don't have to have your camera on, but I want to play a quick game. It's going to get us in a creative juices flow. Okay, it's called the longest sentence. I want to see how long we can keep it going. It won't be that long, but let's see how long we can keep it going. I say a word, you say a word, somebody else says a word, somebody else says a word, then you say another word, somebody else says a word, somebody else says a word. And we go until the sentence starts to not make sense, or until we just give up. Okay. All right. We got to get creative here because we're going to write text messages. Holy cow. It's creative. So let's get creative juices going. All right. In the morning, I like to do go.
Exercise.
Exercise.
Pray.
Okay. Exercise, pray. Who's next?
And
Is this G-rated?
Okay, let's count that one. Let's make that count. In the morning, I like to exercise, pray, and is this G-rated?
Have a cup of coffee.
Okay, you guys are giving me the answers.
Correct.
Make this creative. See, this is boring as hell because you're just telling me what you literally do in the morning. Okay. I don't care what you do in the morning. I want you to make this fun. Okay. This is creative. So,
Lord.
all right. So here we go. Let's change it up. Let's start over. Okay. Don't mess with me because
I'm not awake yet. I'm not full awake yet.
okay. Just one word, y'all. One word. Add a word. One word.
Hungry.
Don't mess with me because.
hi.
Good.
Am.
Yes.
Mad.
Hey.
Yes.
Hell.
Beast.
Yes.
Tired.
Okay.
Creative.
What is that?
Creative.
I think you derailed us, man. Does it fit? It doesn't fit because we got a mad as hell beast on the loose.
That's constipated.
Oh.
That's constipated.
Meaning?
I
am
fruit juice
full of
shit.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Jason's
we got
psychiatrist suggested this. That's what it is.
all right, we got our creative juices going. Now somebody give me a text message that we can send. Come on.
Hello.
Okay.
Let's just start off with hello.
Okay.
Or good morning.
Come on, y'all.
Hi. You say start off with hi.
Okay, well, I'll give you the hi. Hi. Come on, creative juices,
I saw
guys.
your house online.
Okay.
Or Zillow.
A loose. Great.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw your house online.
Okay.
I'm very interested. Please
I
give me a call back.
I saw your loose online. I typed in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. I was thinking. I was listening to you and typing. Just all right. I saw your house online. All right. All right. What was the next?
I'm very interested.
I'm very interested. Okay.
Would you be willing?
Would you be willing? Yes, y'all are getting the flow. Come on.
To accept.
To do a short-term, full price lease purchase, no commission.
There you go. What time?
George has just put one, typed one in the chat.
Ooh, I like this one, y'all. This one's cool. Okay. So I'm gonna hit submit. Oh, I gotta name it here. Okay.
I put one in the chat.
No commission.
Put one in the chat, Justin.
Okay. Let me refresh this here. What happened to it?
I was doing the same thing it did to me.
Just reload it again.
Yeah, it's telling me something funny here. Let's try this. Let's try just changing channels and then go back to it. Oops, wrong one.
That constipation, man.
No, man, we lost it.
You know, yeah, it may not work.
All right, so I'm going to have to put, so this is a great, I'm actually okay with this happening. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put a tag in VIP Club, and I'm going to have to tag Two-Seef and say, hey, dude, I cannot figure out how to get it to add any more messages beyond 5. Okay. Can you help me? I'm available for a call right now. All right. This is part of doing business, y'all. Okay. I love automated REI. I love Michael Batista, but this kind of stuff does happen. But honestly, I'm okay with it because it's happened to me on every platform I've ever been on. Okay.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah. What's up, Jonathan?
I think he said that you have to add 5 at a time basically to get it work. Kind of missed half of what you're saying.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. So let me see if I can get it to open. Yeah, it did say that. It popped up a little warning menu and said you have to add 5. Okay. So that's what's happened. I think you're right, dude. Okay. So, you're so right. Thanks, man.
Well, I just went through that like last week myself. So
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, so there's 5. All right. Give it to me. Hi.
I'm very
I saw your
interested.
house online.
I'm very interested.
I'm very interested. Yeah. What was it? What was it, Jerry?
Would you consider a short-term full price lease purchase, no commission?
A long-term full price lease purchase.
Short-term full
Oh.
price lease purchase, no
Okay.
commission.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but help us out. All right. All right. Let's see. That's a question mark. Okay. There we go. Now let's write number 2 here.
What's a good in the chat, Justin?
Okay.
I'll read it off to you.
Okay, read it off to me. Yeah.
Okay, I saw your house online. Would you be willing to discuss renting it for 2 to 3 years and then I will cash you out?
Discuss what? Renting it out?
Yeah, renting it for 2 to 3 years and then I will cash you out.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. That's a good one.
Hey, Justin, I have something to say.
Yeah.
About these text messages going out.
Yeah.
I'm in another group with another software that I use.
Okay.
And this lady, I guess she works somewhere in that field that's got something to do with text messaging and the code and the law and the this and the that. Anyway, make a long story short, there are certain words that used to work that does not work anymore with text messaging that'll get you
that's
flagged.
right. That's
so
right.
Like interested to get you flagged, offer to get you flagged, cash.
That's right.
The word investor get you flagged. The word consider. It's like a list.
Yeah.
So when we're coming up with these messages, we got to make sure, like, very interested. That interested is not going to work. It's going to get a flag.
That's true. Okay, so Michael Batista, this is something that's kind of new, y'all, that they're doing. And Michael Batista just published a list of those words. Okay, so it's actually so new, I'm not that acquainted with it. So I'll have to go check it out myself, but I will make sure I post that in the VIP club.
Right.
And as anything is added or subtracted from that list, I'll try to keep you updated with that list. Okay. But you're absolutely right. We should go. Okay. What I like to do is I will write out a bunch because I'm in the flow, and then I can go back and make changes. And I do make changes a lot, but a lot of times I think, well, this is kind of basically the same message as this. Let me see if I can switch it around. But now I, in fact, need to go back and start editing them to make sure I didn't use any of the bad words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll put that into VIP. But let's go ahead and let's write another couple of messages here, and then I'll show you how we're going to do a text blast, and then we'll move forward. Any questions or anything so far? Okay. What's another good one? Let's do one more. Let's just do one more. Anybody got one they want to throw out here? We're going to need 12 though. So I'll have to come back here after the class and do 12. I'll have to finish this up, and then I'll have to edit them too. Anything else?
Let's say I'd like to add some houses to my portfolio. Would you be willing to talk about it?
I think houses might be one of those words as well on the flag list.
Which one?
Houses. I don't know. It is so crazy to have to think around all those words. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge that they keep flagging stuff.
Is property a part of that list? Because you could say, I'd like to add some property or a few properties to my portfolio instead.
Right. So Let me show you guys a website that might help you too. Okay. Maybe that would work. Price might be one of those words. Let me see if I can show you this here. Yeah, a thesaurus. This goes way back. All right. This might help you with your creativity. Synonyms, those are, of course, the words that mean the same. Okay. So if I put in house, for example, and hit search, it's going to pull up a bunch. Okay. You might not use these words, but it might help you in some cases. All right. I saw your dwelling. Okay. That sounds weird. I saw your shack. Okay. Maybe in some places that might work. I saw your cave online. All right. Just some ideas to get the juices flowing there, guys. But
residence.
I saw your residence. That's it.
What about
that's not a blocked word.
maybe place too? Saw your place?
Yeah. You know what, man? Place would be awesome.
Yeah, those are good.
Residence would be awesome. Here's what we're going to do. I didn't realize we needed to do this until today, but we're going to have a session coming up soon where I get that list out, and that's all we do is come up with replacement words. Is that cool? Is that cool? All right.
Great idea.
All right. That's what we'll do. Next time we get together, we'll do it where we just replacing words, and we kind of upping our game on the words. Okay. I had a manager one time, and when you talked to him, he wanted you to use the right words. I thought that was funny. But okay, let's assume I've got 12 written here. Okay. I don't yet, but I will. I'll make sure I get that done, because I am going to do this. And we're going to actually use these leads on Thursday, I think, or pass them out or something. All right. So I'm going to go over here to SMS Campaign, and I'm just going to name the campaign VIP Big Blast. And then I can come down here, and I'm just going to start selecting the ones that I did the scrapes for yesterday: Boone County, Clay Como, Springfield, Columbia, Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City #1. All right. So any of these I can select. Actually, I have enough phone numbers and messages to go ahead and do some of these now. So I'll actually do one for you. And I can't do the 600 one yet, because I don't have 12 messages to go with my 12 outbound phone numbers. I'm going to select a voicemail greeting if the lead calls me back. All right. I'm going to select a day and time. Let's see here. Let's do 11:30 a.m. on Thursday. What's Thursday's date? Oops. Thursday the 10th. There we go. Y'all looked at the number. Y'all looked at the calendar. Yeah. Oh, I got 13 phone numbers now. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to leave them all selected, because I want this machine to rotate through these numbers for me. Okay. I don't want to just select one. All right. I want them all selected. All right. I want all of them, because I want a full rotation here. All right. Now, template message, I'm going to let it rotate my messages too. Okay. I'm going to let it rotate those messages. Now, since I'm all set, I'm going to go ahead and click start. Okay. It was successfully created, and I can now check on it over here in my scraping history. So that means, and I'm going to go through here later on. I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these, because it wouldn't take but a few minutes, but I'm not going to make you do it. On Thursday, we'll have some leads. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I get those leads over to Mark and the VIP club, because you guys are doing live seller calls on Thursday. Live seller calls on Thursday. All right.
And I had a good one come back on a SMS campaign the other day. The guy wrote back, LOL. And I said, I love to laugh too. Now back to business. Are you interested in selling your house? And he actually wrote back about selling the house, man.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's a character. Okay, so we've taken care of machine number 1 yesterday, the data and the scraping. Today we did machine number 2, what I call machine number 2 in the deal factory here, which is your outbound marketing. Okay. So we're setting up our text messages and we're setting up our text blasts to go out Thursday. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish that up off screen here today, but that's how we do it. All right. Now, Thursday, I know we'll have leads. Okay. All right. I don't know how many yet, but I know we'll have some leads to call. That's how much I believe in this system. So, and in this process. Now, some of you guys have had some rough experiences with automated REI. I get it. I have too. I've also had rough experiences with every other one that I've ever been on. This one here, they try to at least fix it pretty quickly. Okay. Some of the others I've been on have been down for weeks at a time. Maybe not all of them, but at any rate, even if for sale by owner Zillow, because Zillow's on with the owner contact information and then off with it on their website, and then they're on with it and then they're off with it, and nobody knows what the heck's going on. Are we getting it from the website, or is it being skip traced and all this stuff? I get the confusion. Okay. But at the same time, if for some reason this doesn't work out as successfully as I wanted it to this week, that's okay, because next week I'm going to show you a different technique. All right. Besides Zillow for sale by owners, we're going to talk about Craigslist and stuff. And then the week after that, a different technique. And then a week after that, a different technique. This is just one method. Okay. So if that method is down for any myriad of reasons, no matter what week it is, you have other alternatives. Be water, right? That's what I always say in the VIP chat. Be like Bruce Lee. Isn't that right, Lou? Be water. What's that mean, Lou? Lou, you don't want to talk about it? All right, man.
Sure, I can talk about it.
I was going to ask you, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Water?
When Bruce Lee said be water, what did he mean?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Break it up here, right? You can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, just kind of breaking up. It just means to be flexible.
Yeah.
And if there's, if you have a problem, there's something in the way, you just get out of the way. Get it out of the way or go around it.
Water flows around it, doesn't it? Right? Or over it, or maybe under it. And in time, through it. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so we took care of the data. We got the scrapes. We got the Zillow scrapes back. We got a text message set up. We've written some text messages. We have one more thing we have to do today, and that is we have to take a look at this thing here. All right, and that is, let me get to it. That is, boom. This is our latest script for virtual assistants. Okay, you can see it's the for rent script. Okay, that was the last one we wrote. We wrote this one in the VIP a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. All right, so today I want to edit it and make it work for Zillow for sale by owners. Okay, does anybody, does everybody see this? Everybody sees it. Okay. So this will be a script that you can use with your virtual assistants to pre-qualify these leads that come in on Thursday. If you don't want to just call them and guts them right there, you could. Okay. You probably should even. But if you have a virtual assistant, you're having them pre-qualify your leads. Okay. Then this is a great tool for you. Let's make it work. Let's make a great tool. Okay. So it says when they pick up. So your virtual assistant will be calling them and they will say, hi, my name is, Hi, my name is Clarissa. I just came up with that name. I don't know. I work for Justin. She is a property investor in zip code blank. But I bet your place is already rented out, right? Oh, okay. So this is going to have to change. Okay. So every week you should be going through your scripts and making sure they're congruent with the data and the text message. Right? This is not congruent because it's rent. Okay. So let's talk about this. All right. Rent it out. All right. So that's what it says normally. All right. Let me see here if I can, let's make a copy of this one because I don't want to change our for rent one. Let's make a copy here and we'll edit this one. This will be our for sale by owner. Okay. We can change this one for good. Come on, quit thinking. It thinks too long. Think long, think wrong. Okay. All right. Now we're ready to just edit this thing all to pieces. So we need to change this first sentence. She is a property investor in zip code blank, but I bet your place is already. What would we say to a for sale by owner from Zillow?
I bet it's already sold.
Sold, right? My boss asked me to call you and ask some questions about the property. He thinks he might want to make a deal on it today. Does that sound okay? Okay, that's my question to y'all. Does that sound okay? Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. First, I wanted to start by asking a quick question. Is there any situation we can help with? Okay, if they say no, then there's no situation, then you have to dig deeper or get it out to get it out, or there's no situation, therefore less chance of any motivation. Okay, so what would you like to see happen by the end of this call? Does any of this need to change?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay, so let's slide down. Repairs. Is the home listed? All that's okay. Is there a particular reason you're looking to rent? Okay. How about this? Sell at this time. How quickly are you looking to sell? What are you looking to sell the property for? Is that price flexible? How did you establish that number? Can you do any better than that? What are you going to do if the property does not sell? Okay. And what do you currently owe on the property? Are you current on the payments? Month behind, amount behind? I think all this sounds fine. Okay, office use only. Okay, great. All right, what do you guys think? Is this ready to go to the VA?
Yep.
Why not?
Okay, let me give you, almost fell down. Sorry. Let me give you a piece of advice. I was trying to get one of you guys' VA on here today because I wanted to show you this. But before you finalize it for the week, get your VA on the Zoom with you and have them read this to you. Okay? They should practice this and be good at it. But when you're editing one and making one or inventing one, have them read it to you. Okay? Because there are words that are difficult for them to say. I'll give you an example. As soon as you have your VA read this, they're going to say, and it's going to sound just like normal. They're going to say, if they're from Philippines, they're going to sound like this. Hi, my name is Cassandra. I work for Justin. He is a property investor in zip code. Okay. Property, very hard word for them to say for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. That's just an example. All right. There may be a couple other words in here that are hard for them to say. They won't tell you that. They won't say, hey, listen, I can't say property very good. Okay. They wouldn't say that. And I'm not trying to shame them in any way. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but listen to them read it to you and then go through and change the words that are difficult for them to say so that they sound more American English when they talk, because you're not asking them to say all these strange words.
How's it going?
Okay. What do you guys think of that?
I don't
Sounds
think
good.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
So Justin, on the first call, they're going to ask all the mortgage information.
Yes. They should find out, okay, at least what the payment is. If he owes money, if they can get the loan balance, that's fine. Probably not going to get it all, and certainly not going to get it from everybody.
Can you pull the script back up again?
Absolutely.
We'll take a look at the mortgage, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so the instructions for your virtual assistant is to be polite, to be kind, to be courteous, to be helpful, to be professional, to sound as American as she can, and to ask all of these questions and to take copious notes. Okay, I tell my virtual assistants, don't worry that I'm going to be upset with you, that it was a bad call, that it was a bad person on the other end of the phone, or they were mean, or they didn't answer the questions, or they hung up on you. I am not worried about that. I want you to do a good job. I want you to be nice. I want you to be kind and polite. And I want you to take a lot of notes. That's all I'm looking for. I need the notes. Okay. So you have to stress that with them. All right. So when you finalize your script, finalize it with the virtual assistant in mind. Okay. Make sure you practice with them. Make sure they know how to fill this out. Make sure they know how to say the words, change words if you need to. Okay. But today is a great day to do this. Set up your text messaging, write your text messages, edit your pre-qualification script, which, by the way, this is now in the Lease Options 2.0 course. Okay. This is now in that course. That's where we were working on it at inside there. Okay. So that there is almost a business in a box, y'all. So get that script going with that virtual assistant and get that lead machine cranking like that. And then next week, I'm going to show you a different technique, and the week after a different, and the week after a different one. So by the time of the end of the month comes around, or the middle of January, whatever, you should be able to kick ass every single week, no matter what. Okay. That's the goal. All right. That's the goal for me. I want to get you guys to kick an ass, right? Every week, no matter what. Okay. So if Zillow says, you know what, we're going to take down all of the owner information, so no one can scrape it, nobody can get it, you can't find it anywhere. That's okay. That's okay. I got you. You know, I know how to get leads without Zillow this week. All right. So that's the point. Be water, be flexible. So anyway, we've been going a long time again today. I love you guys. Are there any questions about what we're doing here? Anything at all?
I had a question regarding the automated REI.
Okay.
If you're setting up a text blast to go out, and you had a whole bunch of them you're sending out to, say you're sending out to 300 of them, and you've got those 6 phone numbers, and you've got the 6 text messages already set up. Can you pick those 6 messages in a row, or you have to do them in sections of 5, or can you just, whatever you have, it'll just rotate everything?
Yeah. Let me share the screen and go back there.
The
And
picture said when you did that, it only said 5.
We'll take a look at it. Yeah. So if I go down here to the SMS campaign right here, and I slide down, he's referring to the template messages here. It says all selected. Okay. I only have 5.
Okay.
That I saved. Okay. We wrote a few today, but you have to save them in groups of 5. So I didn't save those yet because we only wrote 3.
So you can pick a couple of these templates.
Yes, and that's why you can name them over there too, so you can recognize which ones are which. So let's say I don't want to do the down payment one here today, then I'm going to unclick that, but I want to send the rest. It'll only rotate those 4 now.
Very cool.
If I saved another 5, it'll say 10 or 12 eventually is what I have to get to today. It'll show up right there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the same with the phone numbers. Okay. If you don't want to use certain phone numbers, cool. Unclick them bad boys. Just unclick it.
Great information.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you.
One of the things I was having a problem with, like with the automated REI, was getting my list every week. But I was looking more at the small towns. I wasn't going with the counties. But yeah, this is excellent info.
Yeah, guys, I wish I could turn back time. I wish I could find a way to take back all of the things that the carriers did to hurt us.
Mm-hmm. So when you do search, you're limited to 600. That's it, right?
Yeah, you're limited to 600 per scrape on the Zillow for sale by owners. That's the maximum. See, but if I could turn back time, we would go back in time to a place where we could do all 600 on one message on one number and just bam. It used to be like that, y'all. Not anymore.
But if you go back and you want to, let's say you're doing a whole state and the first 600 is all they give you. You go back and you want to order it again, say tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to get the same 600 or not.
Yeah, let me tell you how to fix that. You go into Zillow and you go the whole state today, except you go to filters and you put in 100,000 to 199,999. Tomorrow, you'll get 600 in that price range. Then tomorrow you come back, you do the whole state and you do 200,000 to 299,999. You're going to get another 600 out of that price range.
Obi-Wan Justin.
Woo! You got to be water. Woo! Right.
And you're still working that same area.
You ain't even left town, baby. Yeah, it's great. So, all right. I love you guys. Any other thing that we can talk about here today? Have I wore you out today? Have I given you so much content today on this Zoom, in this Zoom room that your mind is just like fried? Like you need a nap.
Take a nap.
I need a nap now too. I'm all tired and shit. Like, I worked hard. My wife's gonna be like, "What did you do?" I'll be like, "Nothing really. I just Zoom and stuff." Zoom fatigue. They say that's a real thing. Zoom fatigue. I don't know.
Hey, Mark, I'm looking forward to Thursday.
Dude.
Yeah, me too. Should be fun.
It's gonna be stellar. And tomorrow is Victor Walker. Don't forget, guys, the role play of making these calls, calling these guys, and getting going on that. So that's something we got to practice too. That's machine number 4 in the deal factory. Machine number 3 is that pre-qualification call, that script. Number 4 is that deal closer. So practice tomorrow with Victor, and then Thursday, Mark Richardson's going to live seller calls. You can't get any more live and real than that. Okay. Thank you, Mark, by the way.
Thank you.
Dude, everybody is so stoked about that. When you brought that up to me, did I not say that's going to be the most popular show of the week? Like right away. Yeah. It will be. It will be. Hey, I love you guys. Anybody got anything else? Okay. Okay. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks,
All right?
Justin.
I'll see you later. Okay.
Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Get a nap and then go do your text blast. All right.